none other than Luvuyo Mdeni. Thank you very much for coming through.
Thank you.
Luvuyo, one of the things is matric results, which have dominated the conversation this week. Can you take us through what's being said and what's happening there?
I mean, we saw as the week progressed, students came out eager for the matric results. There was questions around the matric pass rate and how that would fare out. We've got a couple of tweets that will show that, give an indication of the excitement around the matric results. I mean, with the pass rate coming out at 72.5 for excluded students, there was a lot of excitement around the matric results. At that time, we had people congratulating students that did very well, and on top of that, there was also debate around the minister's work. So, I mean, social media was really interested in these matric results, and it's literally been the conversation over the past few weeks. And over the past few days, in terms of also, motivating the students that didn't make it past these matric to say, you've got another chance. So, I mean, this matric results has dominated the news.
All right, so basically, like in terms of what we've been getting, we've literally been getting both commentary on the results themselves, as well as complaints and offers of advice and so on and so forth to leadership. And so it's been fairly interesting, I can imagine, on your side, picking up on all these different and varied comments and interactions.
Yeah, no, on our side, I mean, leading towards the matric results, we had anticipated that this is going to definitely be a big story, whether it was going to be a higher pass rate or a lower pass rate. It was definitely going to be a talking point for everyone. So what we then did at SABC Digital News is over, leading towards the period of the matric results announcement, we literally then developed this tool for the public to use in terms of being able to access matric results.
Okay.
So the tool is basically
is this something that we can bring up on our big screen?
This is something that we can definitely bring up on our screen.
Yeah.
This is something that's literally on the SABC News page. Now, if you look at this is the overview of the page. Now, once you are on this page, you'll be able to get comprehensive, stats in terms of how the previous class of the matrics performed. And as we go to the bottom, you'll see that it then also gives you numbers.
Yeah, the pass rate, though, is 72.5, right?
The
72.5.
72.5, yes.
Yeah, excluding the progressed students.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Now, as we come to the bottom, we'll see that then the pass rate is then broken down into the provinces. Now, this is how the different provinces fared out. Now, all this is available on the dashboard. When we go to the bottom, then we provide extra information in terms of subject enrollments for 2016 and the likes. Now, what makes the dashboard very interesting, Kendall, when we go to the national slide, is that we get to a national overview. Now, the national overview gives you, or makes it possible for you to be able to see information. I'm just going to move to the national overview, where you're able to compare your provinces to say, you'll be able to get information as to which province performed how in which year. So there's a year breakdown here. So if you want to find out information...
So you can actually analyze going back a few years. For example, I can see you've got up to 2010, and in this bar graph that's going across the screen, it's the numbers of thousands of students that have written their NSC in each and every single province. And that actually applies to every single one of those years in the drop down?
Yes. Now, the most interesting part, another interesting part of the dashboard that we've also made available is that you're able to compare your provinces. I mean, here we've got a comparison of Free State and Gauteng, and this is from 2014 all the way to 2016. So you're able to see, get an indication of the total students that wrote and the total students that passed. So you're able to somehow have a comparison of how the students fared out. If we come to the bottom here, it then gives you the actual provincial pass rate for the number of years. So the tool is basically designed for people to be able to get as much information from the matric data that is out there. If we come to the school performance, this is where it gets very interesting. The school performance is where you are able to find specific information about a specific school.
All right, very good. Now, how long did it take you to put all of this information together?
This is something that's taken us a good couple of weeks to put it together and have it ready with the 2016 information.
I mean, I can imagine that the analytics that one can get into with all of this information, it gets well used. I would imagine that you've been speaking to people like the universities and so on, and the departments of education, higher and basic, would be speaking to you about this.
Yes, this is all this information that we've received here in terms of the data usage has come from the Department of Education, and this is the data that we've put out there to develop this tool. And the great thing that we've done as SABC Digital News is, after we've built this database and with all this data, is that we're putting this data out there on our website. This is www.sabc.co.za/news. All the data, the raw data, is available for anyone to use the way they want to use it.
Luvuyo, I tell you what, I think this is something very big, and I think well done to you and the team for putting this together. I can't imagine that the department would have thought that you'd do this with the data they've given you. Fantastic stuff. Well done.
Thank you very much.
They have it, Luvuyo Mdeni from SABC Digital, and just giving us a way to actually collate all this information and deal with it in a way that actually makes sense to all of us who want to look back and forward in the basic education results.